Hello, sweetie. How was your school today? Hi, Grandma. School was good. But you know what? Mom has asked me to clean my room, and I really don't like to do it. I can understand you. Cleaning your room is not an exciting thing to do, but it's essential. But I'd rather be playing with my toys or read a book. Of course, I get it. But sometimes chores can teach us valuable lessons and make us feel accomplished. Really, Grandma? Like what? Well, doing chores like cleaning your room teaches you responsibility. It is also about taking care of your things and make your space comfortable. Also, it makes it easier to find your belongings. That does make sense. But it does not sound fun. How about trying something fun then? Let's turn it into a game. We'll set a timer and see how quickly we can get it done. A game! That sounds more exciting, Grandma. Great! And when you finish, you can reward yourself with a special treat, like your favorite ice cream. I like the idea, Grandma. It's a fun way to do our jobs. Grandma, I realized something today. Even if something seems boring, I can make it more interesting by finding a way to have fun with it. You're absolutely correct, my dear. Remember, it's not just about cleaning your room, but also about discovering happiness in everyday tasks. This is a skill that shall help you in many parts of your life. Let me tell you today's story. Once upon a time, in a magical kingdom, ruled by a wise and just king named Ranacharya, a wonderful story unfolded. King Ranacharya had a favorite saying that he often shared with his subjects. Work is worship. He believed in the importance of hard work and sincerity, and he wanted his people to embrace these values too. One fine day, King Ranacharya had a special mission in mind. He called upon his loyal courtiers and shared his plan. I want to see if the people of our kingdom are truly following the principles of hard work and sincerity. He said, I want you all to go for a secret mission. Explore the kingdom, learn about the different jobs people are doing, and find someone who embodies the secret of hard work. But be discreet and do not let anyone know you're working for me. The courtiers eagerly accepted the mission, but they were worried about being recognized. To avoid this, one of the courtiers named Raghavan had a clever idea. They decided to disguise themselves as tribal villagers. They dressed in colorful tribal clothing, hopped on a bullock cart, and set off for their adventure. Their first encounter was with a strong woodcutter who was tirelessly chopping trees with a massive axe. Raghavan approached the woodcutter and asked, Oh, woodcutter, Do you enjoy your work? The woodcutter, with a serious expression, replied, Not really. I do it only because it's a profession passed down through generations. Undaunted, the disguised courtiers continued their journey and soon met a washerman who was energetically washing clothes by the river. Raghavan approached him and politely asked, You seem to be a hard-working man. Do you really like what you do? The washerman, feeling a bit disappointed, replied, Is this work enjoyable? The washerman became angry and began to beat the clothes harder. It's a punishment for me. When I was a child, I did not show much interest in studying. I never listened to my parents and never worked hard, so I could not qualify for a good job. Now, my family is dependent on me and I have to do this job to feed them. The angry washerman began to beat the clothes even harder. The courtiers remained determined and traveled further until they found a small hut. Peeking through the window, they saw a young man completely absorbed in his studies. Raghavan inquired, What are you doing? The young man, who was a teacher, replied, It gives me a great satisfaction to spread my knowledge. Do you know the secret to hard work? Asked Raghavan. Yes, replied the teacher. Work is worship. No matter what you do, you must love it and do it sincerely. Raghavan and his group escorted the teacher to the king. With newfound inspiration, the courtiers escorted the teacher back to King Ranacharya. The king was delighted with the teacher's wisdom and rewarded him generously. He even built a magnificent school for teachers' students to learn and grow. This incredible story had a profound impact on the people of the kingdom. They embraced the lesson that work is worship. And from that day forward, they approached their task with dedication and sincerity, just like the teacher. The kingdom flourished, and everyone lived happily ever after, holding the values of hard work and sincerity close to their hearts. So, my dear Chico, what did you learn from today's story? Well, Grandma, it was an amazing story. I realized hard work is important for everything I do. Not only hard work, I also have to do it with sincerity and all my heart. I also think that any work, if it's needed to be done, we should not judge it as good or bad. And if someone is doing all this, we should appreciate and acknowledge their efforts just like the king did. And that wraps up today's podcast. Grandma is closing the book for now. See you next week. Take care. Calling all our young listeners and readers. We want to see your creativity in action. Share your drawings, poems, or anything inspired by this blog with us. We'll showcase your amazing work in our next post. Can't wait to see what you come up with. And that wraps up today's story. Grandma is closing the book for now. See you next week. Take care.